What's going on, guys? It's GBP baby. Welcome to another video. It's currently 9 minutes past midnight on Thursday the 21st of September, but we are going to be looking at Wednesday the 20th of September's price action. We're on the monthly again. All week I've been starting with the monthly because I really want to get this into your heads. I've got my eyes on this imbalance. I'm looking at this 50% of this wick here. Let's get straight back to the daily, because if you've been watching me this week, you know that's what I've had my eyes on. Anyway, today we had the interest rate announcement, as you know. A lot of price action, very volatile. You can see we wicked right down, taking out Tuesday's low. As we were trading down here, I was like, wow, are we really going to be running into these lows? But then you can see at the end of the day, not the end of the day, but later on, we traded back higher. And you can see how we're just constantly wicking through this fair value gap that we have here, but volume still remaining on top. So it's still providing support, meaning that there's still reason for us to expect higher prices. Now, I am going to drop down to the lower time frame. So we're going to go down to the 4 hour, and you can see our price came down, grabbed that sell side liquidity resting below Tuesday's low. I did think Tuesday was going to be the low of the week, but then you can't really trust anything with Fed rate announcements now, can we? So it took out that sell side liquidity, and then you can see we expanded very aggressively higher, taking out buy side here, and we've just about tagged this swing high here. So considering taking out sell side here, and now we've expanded higher, we can look for a breaker for us to enter on, for us to hopefully be bullish for the rest of the week now into that monthly volume imbalance that I've had my eyes set on. So where would the breaker be? Well, we have a low here, we have a high here, we have a lower low here, and then we've expanded higher and started moving upwards as anticipated. I didn't anticipate these lows to get taken out, but that's what happened. So we should definitely take a look at that and consider it, because as we were moving lower, like I said, I was thinking it's possible that we might run into these lows below here. However, that's obviously not the case, and then we expanded much higher, and now we're running to these highs. But anyway, let's find the breaker. Low, high, low, low, break higher. So the breaker block would be this order block here, this bearish order block, turned bullish order block because we traded through it now. So I'd keep my eyes set on this swing right here. So I'm going to make that blue. I'm going to call that a breaker, and I want to see price return to that before breaking, before trading higher. If we drop down to the 1 hour, we can have a better look. You can see we came up, grabbed these relative equal highs resting above here. There was buy side liquidity resting above there. So let's just quickly mark out Wednesday's day completely. Very interesting day in general. It's like quite classic price action if you ask me. You can see we traded up during London, took out that buy side liquidity, traded lower. You can see we consolidated with inside that daily fair value gap, and then we aggressively ran down towards those lows, touched it, and then once we made this low, we came up higher. 12 o'clock, aggressively took out that low, and then we reversed. This trade higher, this move higher, we ran right through into this buy side liquidity up here, which is why now I want to see price, and into these highs as well, actually. Let's not forget those, which is why I'd like to see a nice pullback into that breaker before we continue to trade higher for the rest of the week. Now, like I said, I did think Tuesday made the low of the week, but again, with Fed rate announcements, you can't be too sure. So now that Wednesday's made the lower low, now I'd want to see an expansion for the rest of the week. Like I now believe that this is the low of the week, and that we can start to finally move up towards this imbalance. Furthermore, now that we have a breaker, that means we can do a measured range, which is when I grab the low of here, the high of here, not the high, sorry, the open, and I cast up on my Fibonacci -1 and -2 levels. And if you look where that -1 level takes us, you can see it reaches right into that volume imbalance just as anticipated. So we can anticipate price to trade up into that -1 level up there. But first, like I said, I would like to see it reach. I'd like to see it reach down into this swing high, resting there. Although the fact that we have traded above this swing high does make me reconsider, is it going to even reach all the way down here? Let's drop down to 15 minutes, see if we can get a better look. We can see we have an order block here, but a fair value gap there. So yeah, the fact that we took out this swing high, and I'm going to explain this now, hopefully it will make sense. So the fact that we took out this swing high, I keep saying that, to me now means, okay, price doesn't necessarily need to come all the way down here before moving higher. Also, this fair value gap resting here, I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted to leave that open, but preferably I'd want to see it come down to this breaker high. Let's just drop down, see what we can see. Yeah, I'm not going to say too much, but in general, there should be some kind of run on stops anyway, so we should be able to identify that tomorrow. It should come down, and then we can start to buy. Well, we'll be selling in the pairs, but I'd expect dollar to then start running higher into that volume imbalance. So I'm going to just get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. I'm going to leave this swing high open. I'm going to extend that breaker up to that swing high, because that's the breaker high. And yeah, let's see if price can come back down to here before deciding to move higher. What you'll also notice, that I've just noticed as well, actually never mind, let's not do that now. So yeah, cool, we'll do that in some back testing. Let's go to GBP. Oh, I just deleted the sell side that I'm anticipating price to trade to. We'll go to the daily. Here's Wednesday's price action. You can see we traded up. We failed to take out this swing high. And then you can see we aggressively traded lower, and you can see we're currently trading lower, right down towards this sell side liquidity resting below this low. And if you recall, if you've been watching my videos this week, you'll know that I've had my eyes set on a monthly bullish order block, so I'm going to mark that out as well. Again, just to let you guys know, let me just have further horizontal ray for this sell side, and we'll just make it thicker. So let's go to the monthly real quick, and then you'll see that that sell side liquidity is resting just above that bullish order block open, which is here. So we can mark that as well. Drop down to the 4 hour. Have we looked at the daily already? Yes, we have. Let's look at the 4 hour. You can see price traded up. We took out this, we traded into this rejection block. This is now a rejection block because, why is it a rejection block? Because this candle, you see that tiny wick there? As it traded into it, it rejected it, and then we came down and took out sell stops below here. We then came back up, entered the rejection block, and then obviously aggressively traded lower. And now I can see us pushing down into that sell side liquidity, and eventually into that, well, into that monthly order block, and then that sell side liquidity. That's my draw on liquidity, so to speak. Now, do we have a breaker in this sense? We should do high, low, higher, high, and then we break lower. But you can see if you look at the price action, price isn't going to come back up here now, and I'll show you why. So this technically is a breaker. You can see how this candle trades back into this. I'll just show you. So this bullish order block now acts as a bearish order block as we traded back into it here and left it, and then we have this little fair value gap resting right here, and you can see we traded to the 50% level off it, and then we've left it. So now, as far as I'm concerned, I don't really expect price to need to come back up here to grab any more stops. I'd expect it to just continue to fall lower in general. How do I explain this? This is all back testing. That's allowed me to understand why it's going to do that. But what I'm saying is that this range is rebalanced, and I'll show you. This whole range is pretty much rebalanced. So you can see how this wick here on the 15-minute traded up into this bearish order block. That is now a rebalanced range. And you can see we're now trading lower. So as soon as this low gets taken out, we are going to have some kind of retracement, but there's no need for it to go back above this wick before it reaches that bearish order block and that sell side liquidity. So it's hard to explain. Honestly, guys, it's just a matter of back testing for you to understand what I'm saying in that sense. Which is why, again, with dollar, I'm saying I'm not really sure if I don't even think it needs to come all the way back down to this swing high. It doesn't need to do that. It would probably, let's see on a 15-minute what's going on. This I'd see as like a measuring gap. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this just showed pure support. Like, this will act as support, enough support for us to trade higher. It wouldn't need to actually touch that breaker high. But I'm just gonna keep them marked out in general. So as dollar moves down into this, where this fair value gap, sorry, I'd expect it to find support at this fair value gap and expand higher. The same way GBP, as it's moving lower, I don't expect it to trade back into the breaker necessarily, but I'd expect it to you know, retrace only a little bit before continuing lower, because I'm saying there's a lot of weakness and a lot of strength on dollar right now for it to continue. Because remember, we're going to feel this volume imbalance on the monthly. This is a monthly volume imbalance. This is a massive magnet just drawing price towards it. So I'm seeing there's a magnet, Let's make this fun. So you just got to imagine this massive blue magnet just pulling price, just sucking it in like that, you know? And that's what I'm seeing with GBP down here in terms of price getting pulled down into that sell side liquidity. As soon as that sell side liquidity gets grabbed, then I'd wait. Like as soon as that sell side gets grabbed, I'd wait, see what's likely to happen next, which probably won't be until next week anyway. But yeah, cool. Let's go to Euro. How long have we been going? 10 minutes. Cool. Let's go to Euro. We'll start with the daily. Now Euro, you'll see Euro's been stronger than pound recently, and you can see Euro actually took out Tuesday's high, whereas pound didn't, which is why you should be trading pound now if we're going short, because pound failed to take out a high, whereas Euro did. What did Dixie do? Dixie took out the low as well. So pound is the weaker pair right now. Just saying. But yeah, you can see Euro managed to take out that swing high, and then now we're trying to trade lower. We do have relative equal lows below this low, right out to that low, so we can put sell side liquidity below there. And again, I think if you've been watching me this week, you'll know I haven't really been sure as to where Euro's likely to actually draw to. We are currently in this breaker block, trading in it, and I'll explain what I mean. Like this is all a breaker block. Realistically, the lowest I'd want to see it go is the 50% level of the breaker block, and that's purely just because it'll show respect off that breaker block. 05685. So let's just mark out that. But in terms of Euro's draw, so to speak, I'm not entirely sure. Oh, sorry, what's going on here? 85. Let's see. Let's go to the weekly. So we have this wick here. We can look at them. We can look at the 50% level as that as a potential draw on liquidity. So let's bring this to the front real quick. This outside liquidity that it's likely to trade down into, and then we'll quickly mark out the 50% level of this, which is consequent encroachment, which also happens to be 30%. Consequent encroachment, which also happens to be 50% of the monthly breaker block. Hey, we got it right. Right, so we can put that there, put that there, put that there, put that weekly consequent encroachment. We'll make that black. We'll put that to the right. We'll put that in the center. And then we'll go to the daily, and now we can see that that's where we want to see price go to. Let's see if there's any PDRAs on the 4 hour over there. Is there anything that we like the look of? Not really. There's that order block. Yeah, you see what I mean? So I'm constantly looking for some kind of imbalance or anything that can suggest that price will need to trade into that, if you know what I mean. So let's just, don't tell me I don't have that much data. Yes, I do. Yeah, we'll see how price treats that level. But overall, you know my bias right now, as it has been the whole week, higher on dollar, especially with this large expansion higher. Again, price doesn't need to come down to the breaker because we have that massive fair value gap. And also, on this is hourly, right? If you look at the 50% level of the fair value gap, which it should technically respect, you'll see that lies just above that breaker. So there's a lot of confluence and reason as to why this level here I've got my eyes set on. Let's go to the 4 hour. There should be another fair value. No, we're not. On the next 4 hour, you'll see the same thing. But what I'm saying is that I'd expect this fair value gap to provide enough support for us to move higher. It doesn't necessarily need to touch the high of that. It can. This breaker high can get touched. Like, it can happen. It can. But it doesn't need to, is what I'm saying. And with GBP moving so weak, like GBP is really struggling right now, I doubt it's going to get much higher. The highest I'd see GBP trading in terms of on the buy side. I'm trying to look for a little sell side breaker. Let's see. Breaker this, breaker that, breaker this, breaker that. Do you even know what you're talking about, bro? Alright. Generally speaking, I've got my eyes on these wicks here anyway. As in, I'd allow price to go to there. Other than that, I doubt it's gonna do much before taking out get into that order block. Anyway, that's everything, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to join Discord. Don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to leave a like. Blah, 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 blah. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.